We consider America our big sibling, so it's important for Ireland to have be a peaceful, happy, prosperous country.
How did a UFC fighter manage to deliver one of the most consequential political statements of the year? When Conor McGregor confronted Keir Starmer about Ireland's immigration crisis and misplaced spending priorities, he wasn't just speaking as an athlete, he was channeling the frustrations of millions. Elon Musk's endorsement of McGregor's message wasn't coincidental. Both men represent a growing challenge to political establishments that have grown disconnected from public sentiment. In the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly why this unlikely alliance has politicians like Starmer scrambling to respond. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The balance of power in political discourse has shifted dramatically, and the recent alliance between Conor McGregor and Elon Musk exemplifies this transformation in real time.
You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country.
We couldn't think of a better guest to have with us on St. Patrick's Day. We're both wearing our green. This was not planned, but very festive. And as you know, I'll be having a briefing later at 1 o'clock, so we'll talk more about their meeting later.
Whose work ethic is inspiring. And all that does to me is highlight the lack of work on my side. So that's it. That's what I'm here for.
What we're witnessing is nothing short of a revolution in how political narratives are formed and who gets to control them. The old guard of political communication, tightly controlled press conferences, carefully worded statements, and friendly media interviews is crumbling before our eyes. Think about it. For decades, politicians like Keir Starmer operated in a comfortable bubble where they could choose which questions to answer and which issues deserved attention. Media gatekeepers served as intermediaries, filtering messages through editorial decisions that often aligned with establishment viewpoints. This system allowed politicians to sidestep uncomfortable topics while maintaining the illusion of accountability. McGregor's confrontation with Starmer shattered these comfortable norms. He didn't request permission to speak, wait for a pre-approved question period, or seek validation from political commentators. Instead, he directly challenged a powerful political figure on issues that millions of ordinary citizens care deeply about but rarely see addressed in official settings. What makes this confrontation particularly significant is that McGregor raised concerns that resonate beyond partisan divides. His questions about Ireland's immigration policies weren't framed through the lens of left-right politics, but through the everyday experiences of citizens who feel their concerns are being deliberately ignored. When he demanded answers about government spending priorities, billions flowing overseas while domestic services struggle, he articulated a frustration that crosses traditional political boundaries. The real game changer, however, came when Elon Musk decided to amplify McGregor's message. This wasn't merely a celebrity endorsement, it represented something far more powerful. By sharing and supporting McGregor's confrontation, Musk effectively created an alternative distribution channel that reached millions instantly, completely bypassing the traditional media ecosystem that politicians have relied upon to manage public perception. The numbers tell the story. The combined social media reach of Musk and McGregor dwarfs that of most mainstream news organizations. When they align on a message, they create an alternative power center in political discourse that cannot be ignored or controlled by established political operators. Their platforms allow for direct engagement with the public on a scale that most politicians can only dream of achieving. What's particularly threatening to the political establishment is that these outsider voices can frame issues without the editorial filtering that typically sanitizes political messages. There's no press secretary to clarify remarks, no editor to soften criticism, and no opportunity to control which parts of the message receive emphasis. The raw, unfiltered nature of this communication resonates with audiences who have grown weary of political doublespeak. Political analysts have observed that these celebrity interventions are fundamentally changing how public discourse functions. When figures like McGregor speak directly to the public about political issues, their messages arrive without the distortion that often occurs in traditional media channels. This direct line of communication creates a more authentic connection with audiences who appreciate hearing concerns expressed plainly rather than wrapped in diplomatic language. Musk's role in this power shift is particularly significant, given his own outspoken positions on issues like immigration. His decision to amplify McGregor's confrontation aligns with views he has previously expressed on social media, suggesting a broader coalition of influential figures who share a sense of urgency about addressing issues they believe the political establishment deliberately avoids. This new reality creates an impossible situation for politicians accustomed to controlling the narrative. When criticized by traditional media, they have established protocols for response: issue a statement, schedule a friendly interview, or simply wait for the news cycle to move on. But when challenged by figures with massive direct audience reach, these tactics fall short. Ignoring the criticism makes them appear disconnected, while engaging directly risks legitimizing new power centers outside their control. The political establishment now faces an uncomfortable truth that extends beyond mere celebrity influence. Recent polling data reveals a profound shift in public trust toward figures like Musk and McGregor, who increasingly connect with audiences in ways traditional politicians cannot. This isn't just about viral moments or social media followings. It represents a fundamental realignment of who the public considers credible voices on critical issues. History shows us that non-political figures have repeatedly changed political narratives, from climate activism to social justice. What's different today is the scale and speed at which these interventions occur. When politicians dismiss these voices as uninformed celebrity opinions, they misunderstand the nature of modern influence. The public increasingly finds authenticity in those who speak directly rather than through carefully crafted political messaging. The most telling indicator isn't just who people listen to, but who they trust. Politicians who continue ignoring concerns raised through these new channels risk more than temporary embarrassment. They face permanent irrelevance. The question for the political class isn't how to silence these outside voices, but whether they can rebuild enough public trust to remain relevant in conversations increasingly happening without them.